Yo, 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 what's going on, my peoples? Holla dollar. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, let's take a look. Saeed is out of commission today. So guess what? You get the big daddy. You get the big daddy to come in and give you the picks. So, SPY, let's talk about SPY here. You guys have noticed that the market's really choppy, right? This is just kind of it's an algo type of thing. You know, people think algos are really smart, but they just trade ranges and moving averages just like the rest of us. And so you can see the market has been doing this. It's been popping, and then you get this timber kind of action quite a bit until this range is resolved. That's just what kind of happens. Now you are seeing some signs of subtle distribution, uh, but nothing that would say like, "Oh my God, we're gonna roll over." I mean, if you really think about it, draw your line like this. I mean, this market is right pennies away from having a flag breakout. So take everything with a grain of salt. Sometimes the markets just act a little funky, but I mean, we're at highs. How much can we really complain? So we get a little bit of chop for a couple days. Tis his life, but there's a lot of stocks running around, right? A lot of stocks running around. We had some decent days in the chat room the last few days. And the money's out there. This is a stock I kind of like here. You got a lot of shorts in this, 34% of the float coming at a base breakout. You ran into MA today, but you should break over this maybe tomorrow. You can see this big run, and then you had the dip and ripper, and then a flag play. And so some of these solars may go. This is a pretty low float for stock, so it can move. A nice move. Finally, you got that extra coil that came on when the 90 EMA started to curl and you broke the trend line, and I had that big run in ESPR. We had this thing, I screwed up. I had this thing around here somewhere on this dip, and then I just sold it for like 20 cents, and this sucker just ripped. And then, the big mistake I made today was not getting this thing back into the flag. That is a no-no, right? Those end-of-day flags can really, really rip. Stock like this has more juice, though. Red to green, look for opening morning weakness, something like that. We can go red to green on this. Momo is actually known to do red to greens quite often. So you had an ORB today, and you got some of these little flags going. It was hard to get in unless you were willing to kind of chase it up a little bit and get into some of these mini flags, or you got it at the open. We did okay on it. I made like $200 on it or something. So nothing special, right? I mean, and part of it is that I just never got that big consolidation that I was looking for. So it just ends up doing that. Sears Holdings. The whole world is short this stock now. And you got 70% of the flow. You've got a flag pattern here. I think this thing could have some juice on it. So I'd keep an eye on this. I'm watching some of these oils for potential swings. You have right here essentially 1, 2, 3 patterns on the daily. These are bottoming patterns. I think the layman's term would be inverse head and shoulders, inverse head and boulders, right? But this is like this W pattern. That's what essentially an inverse head and shoulders is, or a 1, 2, 3. When you come out of this, you should go. And so first stop the 50, and then we'll see what's happening. But your risk is really just down to this 9 EMA right here. Nice move. I would not day trade this personally. I don't think it'll move, but it'll just move in that steady, grindy, kind of higher float stock way. Been eyeballing this VRX actually for a swing. It popped up today. IPOs, right? IPO breakouts. We've seen this thing go run for 4 or 5 days. Too low a volume to really be day tradable candidate, but hot for a swing. Same type of thing with Baba. Big breakout here. Not the best day trader, but I mean, this is a powerful move here. This is right a flat top breakout coming out of a cup and handle thingy majiggy. So watch for kind of retest of this breakout spot. We may potentially be able to get some into that. Powerful pattern though. It could run for days. Same type of deal, bottoming pattern on MDR, oil stock. And you're seeing this with a lot. SM is like that too, right? This one is probably the one that we've traded the most over the years. So you get a whole host of these. oil stocks show up. This LNG is another one that I think has the potential to break out the highs here and go. I mean, tap, 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 tap. You got your 9 EMA coming up under it. JD, flat top breakout. Chinese stocks are just hot. You know what? It's the year of the dragon, baby. What can you do? Shop. I had this thing in for a swing in this last one. Yeah, I ripped this thing for like $10. It's having a similar kind of pattern now. Flagging out, it's peaked over, broken over the 9 EMA. Fairly good stock. I may kind of look to rejigger my magic in this thing, as this stock has been my number one kind of in my IRAs and stuff. This has been my number one kind of moneymaker stock, as we had the flat top breakout the flag and some other good juju. BMW, flat top breakout here also. Only problem is earnings are coming in a week, so you can't hold this thing for too long, but should be tradable for swing and day trade as the range expands when it breaks. This one needs a little bit more work. You can see when you're trading, think of imagination, right? You got to always use your imagination of what has to happen before a stock is ready to break. So you need that back and filling kind of action here for a few more days. Coil that range tighter. And once that range tightens, that's where you get inflection points. Still looking at this light, I'm just kind of watching this thing. It's just riding along its trend line right now, hanging on at support. It's just being free. But at some point, it's going to break this and start making a move. And at this point, the trend is probably busted, but you'll get a run about 50, 51 on it. And then NVIDIA looks like it's got a date with this 95. And you can see this 95 is key because it was the flat top breakout over here. It's a support there. That kind of completes the rollover once it breaks under there. So it's got a date with the 95. So, watch this thing for big spikes. Tomorrow morning, we may go short the spike on the gap fill, possibly light open to red to green. There's a few things that we can do in this thing. We hit this thing like men right into the close today and got a little bit of juju out of it. I had some trades on in the morning on this flag we took. That was nice, real nice. I locked it low. And then SVXY, if the market starts getting really, really rowdy, this is a big trend line break in this stock. It's never really broken under its 50 SMA in months. You could have some downside follow through. The opposite of SVXY is, this UVXY, which you can also potentially play if the market gets a little juice. We had this thing for that flat top breakout here, 1837. Had a nice little run into the close, and you're peaking up to you're peaking up to the 19s. This thing, when it wants to move, it really will move, for a span of 4 or 5 days. Don't be worried if it runs for a couple days. Is it extended? Not yet. It's got to think, some things. On the other side of things, guys, keep some ammo in terms of your mental capital and financial capital. For those of you guys that are trading with us, earnings season is coming. As you know, that's our bonanza. And so I don't want you guys to blow out your brains in the choppiness of the market. If you're having trouble navigating, reach out for help or take a break. I want you to really think about something. It only takes a few good trades every week to make your week. $300 here, $400 here, $500 here, $200 here. Boom, that's your week, right? This is not a bad living right there. So don't blow all your juju on, trying to fight the chop. And if you can't figure out the market, is it going to bounce? Is it going to fade? Does it always fade? When you're kind of in that flux where you have too much uncertainty, that's a good time to step back and just let the traders that, like that kind of action do what they're going to do. And, you can watch, follow along, get on the simulator, practice. There will be a day where things are easier. In trading, what I've found out over the years is that a majority of your money is made really in a handful of easy months, and then a lot of the times you chop around, especially when you're new. As you get older, because you're not into taking huge risks all the time, you kind of just grind it out all the time. Whether the market's good or bad, but it's much more stressful trading right now, I'd say. So just some different things to kind of keep aware of. Guys, let me know if you need anything. I'm around. I don't got class today. I'm a little bit bored. Just kidding. I'm never bored, but you know what I mean. All right. Peace.